Good afternoon to you and welcome back to Osijek in Croatia for the final event of the day here at the Olympic shooting range Pampas in the 25, 50 and 300 metre 2024 European Championships. This is the three positions 50 metre rifle women junior final. And here's some results from earlier today. A good morning for Slovakia, taking the gold in the 50 metre rifle prone duet. And then Michal Honoski, with a terrific performance, was middle to the lower part of the scoreboard for most of the three positions, and then throughout the prone and then into the standing, just crept up and up and up and up and managed to take gold. Fantastic performance and exactly what we were expecting here at the European Championships with such high standards. So we're about to get underway with the 50 metre rifle three position women junior final. My name is Rory McAllister and I'll be your commentator for this match. So thanks very much for coming along to the ESC Ustream channel. Do like and subscribe the channel. That's the thumbs up. Hit that and the subscribe as well. And in that way you'll get all our broadcasts notified to you. So 50 metres is the distance. Maximum weight of the rifle's up to 8 kilos, 10.4 millimetres. I know it just sounds utterly ridiculous, doesn't it, that's the bullseye. Well, kneeling, prone and standing is what we'll be going through in this 3P final. Over 45 shots, unless we were to go to a shoot-off. So the 5-minute preparation and sighting time is ticking down. And these are the stars not only of today in the world of junior European shooting, also across the world, and some stars for the future as well. That's why I always find the junior competition so fascinating, because give it another 3, 4, 5 years, you get to see the names that are still there on the world stage. This is how it finished in qualification. Just Hannah Verheyen just 1 point in front of Barbara Dubček. And the 19-year-old in second position on that 5.86. A few more on 5.85. Down the qualification on 5.84 and then to 5.83 with Nila Stark of Germany just making it into the final. So that's how they line up from firing point A through to H. So two athletes from Norway. Czechia once again have made a final, as have Poland. And Poland took a gold and silver in the men's three position. So what will happen today? Well, here's Jair Davidovic, who is one of the vice presidents of the European Shooting Confederation. Absolutely loves shooting and he loves cycling as well. I've seen some of his social media posts, very keen cyclist, but today of course it's all about the rifles. So Christina, our announcer, doing a great job at keeping everyone in good spirits as certain countries wave their flags high in the air. So if you are just joining us, welcome along. We're about to start with the 50 metre rifle, three positions women's junior. And we're almost halfway into the programme. All the senior finals are done and dusted. The last was this morning in the medal matches. And now it's the junior programme from today right the way through to next Friday. So another week still to go. And we'll bring you every match live on the ESC video stream channel. Do feel free to leave your comments of support, whoever you are here to cheer on, and let us know where you're watching around the world as well. Local time here in Osijek, just gone 5:25, and this final due to start with the first shot at 5:30. So once the preparation sighting time is over, then the athletes will stay in their positions and they'll just turn to face the audience. As you can see, packed here. Nice to see so many people here to celebrate these finals. And the Germans have made sure they brought their country flag along. So there's no restriction on barrel length in these small bore rifles in this event, so you will see differing lengths. A very technical piece of equipment, and the sights and the butt and all sorts of other bits will be adjusted throughout the final as the athletes move from position to position. There are 3 series of 5 shots in the kneeling position, then a 7-minute changeover to prone, with another 3 series of 5 shots in prone, then a 9-minute changeover when we move to standing. And then once standing is done, there's only 2 series of 5 though in the standing. It's single shots and all the eliminations take place as we then decide who will be the medalists.
Stop. Allowed. Athletes may remain in position above heads and faces towards spectators.
Ladies and gentlemen, the organizing committee.
There's Ivana Placic, who I know has been shooting today and was also the announcer for the Olympic discipline finals.
The final competition for the 50-meter rifle reposition women junior will now begin. On firing point A, representing Norway, Caroline Finestad Lund.
And Caroline Finestad Lund, 23 years old, representing Norway. Bronze medalist in Changwon in the 50-meter prone junior at the World Championships in 2023. For Poland, his 18-year-old Maja Gawenda. And Barbara Dubska, 19 years old for Czechia on firing point C. Hannah Veren is next, and lots of support from the German team. And Emilia Ponjevic, 20 years old, is next for Serbia. And Nele Stark, 21 years old from Germany on firing point F. And Hanna Strakicek, 17 years old, the youngest in this final, representing Slovenia. And Pernilla Norvoll, 18 years old, the second athlete representing Norway. And Guy Le Gentil of France is our jury member in charge.
And as you already know, the chief range officer for this final is Mr. Petar Placic from Croatia.
And Petar Placic of Croatia will be in command. There's Guy Le Gentil of France, jury in charge. So kneeling position to begin with. 3 series of 5 in kneeling, 3 series of 5 in prone, and 2 series of 5 in standing. That's when it really all starts to take shape. So Sofia Ceccarello of Italy, the European record holder for the junior competition, 464.7. And Guy Le Gentil, a jury member in charge. I think we have a strap issue here. And just going over to help before we get started.
For the first competition set, long
So meanwhile, the Chief Range Officer has given the load command and the clock has started. 200 seconds on the clock. And meanwhile, on firing point F, Neela Stark continues just to wrestle with her suit. Well, I haven't seen this for a while. And Henwood Hoffman, who is her coach, is just having a word with Claudia Coulet. And something's broken. Well, you do have to feel for Neela Stark. Meanwhile, the shots are off. A 10.9 is the highest individual score. And we got a few of them in the men's final. So hopefully the German team can get Neela Stark ship shape and at least ready to get down and try and take some shots. There's 90 seconds left, sorry, 2 minutes even. And Ponjevic there looking so still. Last shot was a 10.3. So Neela Stark now trying to get down and in position as soon as possible. Well, the race really is on now. And we do have to feel for her in a situation like this. Just gets her strap wrapped round and at least now can take a shot. So let's see how many shots she can get off in 1 minute 10. So there's one, 9.3. Here she goes with another, and the crowd really are giving her an awful lot of support. This is so nice to see here on the European stage because unusual circumstances for Neela Stark. 7.3 is the second shot. She at least might as well try and get as many off as she can. Meanwhile, Dubska on firing point C still needs to complete her series. And a 9.6 from Neela Stark. Speed shooting. Is this the future? Can she get 2 more shots off? There's another one, 9.7, come on, one more. Can Neela Stark get 1 more shot off, at least within the time allowed, because I think the crowd will go berserk if she does, and she completes 5, it's an 8.7. But perhaps, is that the future, to do it that quick? It'll certainly make things very interesting indeed. What an effort from Neela Stark of Germany. 44.6 in 1 minute 20, or 1 minute 10. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the top of the scoreboard, and Pernille Norwal of Norway, 52.8. That's a cracking total, and it's 0.5 in front of Lund of Norway. Meanwhile, the crowd not only congratulating the athletes so far, but more so for Neela Stark, who now at least has another series with the full allocated time. So Nina Stark perhaps just still a little bit rattled from that experience over that first 5-shot series. Meanwhile, Norvoll of Norway now up to a total of 93. A 10.7 from Ponjevic. That's 3 decent shots for Ponjevic. Caroline Lund has completed her series, as has Pernilla. And Pernilla's been leading the competition, but it is now just a switch at the top. There's still some other shooters to complete their series. I'm just waiting on Bubska now. And a 10.4 on the final shot, still with 27 seconds left on the shot clock. And you can take as long as you like, as long as it's within the allocated time. So Lund of Norway was second, now takes the lead. The gap is 0.7. Meanwhile, Pernilla Norway is still in second place, and there's a 1.3 gap between Starkušek, who's only 17 years old, the youngest member in this final, in third place for Slovenia.
Start.
10.7 from Stark. Great stuff from Nila after the beginning disruptions to this final. Starkušek getting a massive cheer from the Slovenian team, rightly so, a 10.8. Nice and early on. Ponjevic also with a 10.8. Great to see these high shots. So Nina Stark is actually closing the gap on Hannah Verheyen. The two Germans in 7th and 8th place, respectively, as it stands. I think if Nila Stark was to go on later in this final and even survive the first two eliminations, 8th and 7th, I think that'd be a remarkable achievement, considering the race that she had on her hands to take 5 shots in 1 minute 10 because of that strap problem, which eventually was put back together by the German coaches, both of them joining forces to try and help out. And once again, it's Ponjevic and Bubska who are the final two to complete that third series in the kneeling position. So now we have the 7-minute changeover, and Nila Stark finds herself in 8th place. She was 5.4 behind, but she's closed the gap, as I said, 4.6. And who knows, might be able to try and make some of that up over the prone 3 series, and maybe even when it comes to standing, depending on her energy levels as and when she gets there. So Lund of Norway leads, 1.3 is the gap, then a 1.4 gap between Norway of Norway and Strakisek in 2nd place. Now Ponjevic only 0.1 behind in 4th place. Bubska's in 5th. And Gawenda of Poland is in 6th place, with Veren of Germany in 7th and Stark of Germany in 8th place. So you can see now the athletes just making the adjustments with some Allen keys to their rifles as they move from kneeling into prone. And this is all rehearsed in training. You have to get this down because you're on your own out there.
In this match, there are no hungry Hungarians to get all the cookies. We're gonna start by exercising our vocal cords.
So the different positioning, as you can see, at the sights get changed over because your body's in a completely different position. And you have to take that into account. So some use just multi-tools like that, and others tend to just go for the Allen keys themselves. So a peep sight at the front as well, just removed and replaced. So you can see the height of both the sights there on the rifle just because of the prone position. So 4 minutes to go, now ticking down on the changeover time. Most of the athletes are now onto their mats, trying to get in as many sighting shots as possible. And Caroline Vanessa Lund is our competition leader on 155.1, and that's Tonia Enjevic, the coach. And Caroline is a bronze medalist at Changwon at the 50-metre prone junior at the World Championships last year, and also a gold medalist at European Championships in the prone junior 2022. She's on firing point A. Now on firing point B, this is Maja Gawenda, 18 years old, representing Poland, and gold medalist at the World Cup Junior in the prone 50-metre mixed team. And there's Gregor Piecik, who's the coach. And Maja also has a gold medal at the European Championships in Tallinn. I was there for that one myself last year in 2023. And this is 19-year-old Barbara Dubska of Czechia, 19 years old. Bronze medalist at the European Championships earlier this year, 2024, in the trio women junior. And Lubos Opelka is the coach. I had a good chat with him before the final. He's had a busy day because he was in with the men's medal finals earlier today. And this is Hannah Veren, 19 years old, from Germany. bronze medalist at the World Championships in the 3P, Team Women Junior. And that's Claudia Coulet. So next on firing point E is Milija Ponjevic, 20 years old, representing Serbia. And she's a bronze medalist in Tallinn. Again, I remember that one, the Team Women Junior. And that's Sasha Ike, who's the coach. Next, representing Germany on firing point F, 21-year-old Nila Stark, who had a strap issue and with her suit and had a late start, had to take 5 shots in 1 minute 10. Did ever so well. And there's that bronze medal from the Junior World Cup in Seoul. She also has 4 European Championship gold medals. And that's Hemwood Hoffman. And the youngest competitor in this final on firing point G is next. And that's Hanna Strakushek. ISSF Grand Prix gold medalist in Rusa 2024. And could this be her first European Championship medal? There's Otto Strakushek, who is her father. He was having a good chat with me about Brexit the other night. It often comes up in conversations. It's unavoidable when you're from the UK and you arrive anywhere in Europe. And Pernilla Norwal of Norway is last on firing point H, but he's in 3rd position at the moment. And there's that 4th place from Changwon. She also has a Junior World Cup silver medal in Seoul and 3 European Championship medals, 2 silvers, 1 bronze. And that's Jen Usle, who's the coach. So whoops going up. And that's because Verens hit a 10.9 in the opening shots of the prone position in this final. There's 3 series of 5 shots, and this is where the athletes have the most stability of all the 3 positions. And we're bound to see some higher scores as well. Lund, meanwhile, has been leading the competition with that shot in the 9 ring, 9.8. .9 from Bubska. Ponjevic, meanwhile, a 10.8, and then follows that with a 10.5. .9 from Strakushek. Only 17 years old and performing that well on the European stage. So Bubska once again is the last to finish, and it's a 9.4. So still Lund at the top. The gap is now 0.7. Let's see how it was looking after the leading position. There was a 1.3 gap, and that's been closed. So Strakushek with that 10.9 helping things. The gap is 0.7. But Neela Stark, the gap has increased down in 8th place, 6.8. And if you're just joining us in this final, it's just because Neela had a delayed start to the series, the first series in kneeling, and had to take 5 shots pretty rapid in 1 minute 10.
Start.
Osijek with great 2 opening shots in this second series in the prone position. And as we sort of move towards the 25 shot marker, this is where you really want to try and give yourself a decent footing going into the standing position. Make the most of this prone position to try and get those high scores in. Because once it comes to standing, and certainly with the heat that we've experienced here in the finals hall, we're in a big marquee setup, and the sun is still shining outside here in Osijek. It's been as high as about 27, 28 degrees. Glorious weather outside. It just makes conditions slightly more tough inside. Lund with a 10.8. Osijek with that last 10.4, still 1 shot to go. Well, there we go. The end of the second series, and the highest total, 52.0 from Hannah Verhen. That was the highest series. Otherwise, 51.9 was the series total from our competition leader, which is Hannah Stakusek, only 17 years old and leading this final at the European Shooting Championships in Osijek. So we've got another 5 shots in the prone position. And will Stakusek keep hold of this lead for Slovenia? .8 from Gavenda. Norval with a 10.7. So the prone series now drawing to a close. Who will go into the standing position and the 9-minute changeover with the lead? Will it be 17-year-old Stakusek from Slovenia? 10.9 from Hannah Verhen. That's the second one in this prone series from Hannah. She had one in the first prone series and now one in the third. Norval, meanwhile, has completed the prone phase of this final. And that's the prone phase of this final done for now. And a 52.5 series from Hannah Verheyen. Amazingly, she's still only in 7th position, but is now 0.5 behind Govenda and Bubska, who are tied for 5th. Now that scoreboard's adjusted, you see that tie for 5th. Then Pernilla Norwal in 4th, Ponjevic in 3rd, 0.7 behind Strakusek, who hasn't quite managed to hold on to the lead, but still up there in the current silver medal position. And Lund of Norway leads the competition, 0.4 in front.
You know that's the hardest position to shoot. So that's why we need to make.
So the 9-minute changeover is now on.
To do the best they can. So, are you ready to play a game again? Were you here for the last finals? When the Hungarians ate all the cookies? No? Okay. Whoa, I got excited. So, I would like to first, now we're going to go from down to up.
So this is where the rifle rests come into play as well. You can see Ponjevic just picking us up, putting it into the correct place. And Bubska just making adjustments to her pink rifle stand.
All right, great. Now, let's hear Poland. 1, 2, 3. Everybody wants to lose today. Nice. Czechia on 3. 1, 2, 3, go!
Well, we have a cheering contest going on again. This happened in the men's final. The winning team were awarded some cookies. Not quite sure what the prize is. I think somebody even said it was water earlier, but nowhere near as exciting as cookies, is it?
Where are neighbors? Serbia on 3. 1, 2, 3, Serbia! And Slovenia, our other neighbors. 1, 2, 3, Slovenia! All right. Let's do it the other way around. So, now we're going to do Norway first, right? One more time for all the markers. Norway, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, Slovenia on 3. Slovenia, 1, 2, 3, go! Right. Serbia, where are Serbian friends? 1, 2, 3, for Serbia! Okay. We have Norway already. Now Czechia. 1, 2, 3, go!
Well, Mr. Lissin seems to be enjoying this cheering contest.
There's only 4 people out there if I see you. Okay. Next on Poland. On 3, Poland. 1, 2, 3, go!
Well, Poland's surely the loudest so far.
At least Germany. 1, 2, 3, yes!
Well, the Germans are up on their feet after Christina, the announcer, is just trying to G them all up.
Won the first race.
Meanwhile, back with the changeover. And Bubska is already just making some adjustments. That's just off camera. But this is Govenda, 18-year-old from Poland, just doing the final adjustments to the waist strap of her trousers. And she's about to go into the standing position.
1, 2, 3, go! It's a tough decision. Okay, I'm gonna need 2 volunteers then. 1 from Poland and 1 from Slovenia. Please come down because I cannot come up towards you.
So 5 minutes left. And this is where now the athletes will be trying to get in as many sighting shots as possible. So if you are just joining us, this is the 50-metre rifle 3-position women's junior final. And Caroline Lund of Norway leads on a total of 309.3. It's just a gap of 0.4 between Lund and Strakusek of Slovenia. He's only 17 years old, been shooting so well. So there's Caroline Lund's shot graph. Most of them all hovering around the 10. Just shot 23 there that dipped into the higher nines.
You also? Yes? No, you're a shooter. Okay. All the shooters. Very nice. So, you have to be quick now. I'm going to ask you a question and you have to raise your hand very fast. And then you get to answer the question. It's very simple. Alright? The name of the chief range officer for all the finals is?
So Govinda's shot graph, again, mostly hovering around the 10s. Some of the ones higher up.
No. Okay, no points. Do you want a little bit of help from the audience? It is with the P. It starts with the P. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to try this. Right? No, you know what the cookies are. Okay.
And moving on now to Barbara Dubska, 19 years old, representing Czechia. And pretty consistent. Shot 29, she probably wants to forget about, but the others have all been pretty good. And she's currently in tied for 5th place.
Which country? Reposition, men. Bronze medal. Yes, okay, I'll be right up with your awards and we can continue the match soon, alright?
So Hannah Verheyen,
Did I say pentaglove?
who hit that 10.9 on shot 28. And also there was another one in the first series in the prone position.
Now you're going to remember.
And Hannah Verheyen, despite those 10.9s, is still in 7th place. And this is Emilia Ponjevic, 20 years old, from Serbia. And next, a closer look at Neela Stark, who at least there, over the last 9 shots, has been hovering around the 10. She had a bit of a disastrous start to the final, with one of her straps broken off her suit, and had to start the first series in the kneeling position late, taking 5 shots in 1 minute 10, and was getting a cheer from the crowd after every single shot. And here's Hanna Strachusek, youngest athlete in the final. A little bit of inconsistency here and there with some shots down in the 9s, but is still in 2nd place at the moment and is only 0.4 behind Lund of Norway, who leads. And then finally Pernilla Norvoll of Norway, 18 years old and firing point H. Had a strong start, was leading the competition after the first series in the kneeling position. And is currently in 4th position.
Stop.
So we can now get on with the first series in the standing position.
For the next competition series, load.
So the load command is given. Only when the load command is given can you load.
Start.
Otherwise there can be penalties for loading too early. And we're underway with the standing phase of the final. Ponjevic with a 7.8. Just shows how tricky it becomes once you're in the standing position. Quite a few shots coming into the 8 ring. This is to be expected. It's been a long, hot, grueling day. And it's late in the day as well. Local time here in Osijek is just coming up to 6:10. Yeah, 10.6 from Osijek in the standing position. A very impressive shot. That 10.5 also from Nila Stark. I did say earlier if Nila Stark was to survive the first elimination, because 8th and 7th place will leave after 40 shots. That'd be a remarkable achievement. But it is looking like Nila Stark is just too far behind. And Boobska once again is the last to finish. Boobska's last shot was a 9.4. So let's see what she can end on here. 50 seconds left. Gone very silent here. Just readjusts. I did wonder if she'd do that. She was taking an awful long time there, but it's still within the shot clock. And the crowd now starting to give us some encouragement. And Boobska's last shot is a 10.5. Well, it was worth waiting for, wasn't it? And Boobska in 3rd position. So we now have 1 series left in the standing position. And Osijek is now back at the top of the tree. And a gap of 3.1 as well over Lund of Norway. And Boobska, as you can see there, 0.3 behind in 3rd place. 0.2 with Norvoll. And Gabenda in 5th place. And Nila Stark looks like she'll be leaving this final with that 3.8 gap. Meanwhile, Ponjevic not quite out of it just yet. That 1.4 gap could certainly change over a 5-shot series in the standing position. But 7th and 8th place will be leaving us after the next 5 shots. And Ponjevic with a 10.8. Marvellous. It's a terrific shot in the standing position, particularly when you're down in 7th place, fighting to try and stay in. And I wonder if Otto Starkuszek, who's the coach on the right, and also father to Hannah as well. It must be so hard when you're watching your own child He looks quite calm though. .9 from Hannah this time. 10.5 and then a 10.4 from Dubska. Great shot from Nina Stark as well, 10.6. There's some really high shots going in here. This is really impressive. Ponjevic has completed and goes to put the safety flag into her rifle. And is in 7th position and is looking likely that she's going to lead. A great final shot from Slakusek in that series, 10.1, to continue to lead the competition on 407.5. And Dubska, once again, is last to complete the 5-shot series. Last shot was a 9.4. And same as last time, just resets again with about 40 seconds to go. Last time this happened in the last series, she then hit a 10.5. And this time it's a 10.2. Cracking shot at that stage of the final. And we have our first 2 eliminations, and Ponjevic, well, I said she was likely to leave. It was so close in the end, just a 0.1 difference. That's really painful to leave in 7th place with a difference of 0.1. So Nina Stark of Germany is first to leave, and that's because of that problem she had at the beginning of the final. So you have to ask, what would have been for Nina Stark had she been able to start the final in the correct way? She may very well be still in this, but sometimes that's life and you learn from these things. And Nina Stark performs so well. She leaves in 8th place. Meanwhile, Emilia Ponjevic, just 0.1 behind Hannah Verhen in the end, leaves in 7th. So eliminations now, every single shot until we decide the medals. 9.1 from Norwalt. 10.3 from Lund, who is still trying to vie for the lead, is in 2nd place at the moment. Slakusek meanwhile with a 10, and our next elimination, Hannah Verhen of Germany. So 19-year-old Hannah Verhen is next to leave on a total of 412.4.
For the next competition shot, low.
She shot very well in the prone position. A few 10.9s, just wasn't enough to lift her up the scoreboard. Such is the standard that we've got here in Osijek. So Pernilla Norwal only 0.1 behind. In 5th place, will she be eliminated? Will she survive? 8.9, not great. Pernille Norvoll will be leaving this final now, representing Norway, 18 years old. And I think was just hesitating there, making sure that her name was going to be called. Indeed it was, and now we're down to the final four.
For the next competition shot, low.
Dubska 1.3 behind. It's the cruelest place to finish in fourth when you miss the medals. And there's Kuna, our mascot, down at the front, leaping around, getting the crowd clapping and supporting these athletes. Now some nerves starting to creep in perhaps, and Barbara Dubska will leave the final in fourth place with a total of 433.1. 1.5 is the difference, but she leaves in fourth place representing Czechia. So we now have our medalists.
For the next competition shot, low.
And between Govenda and Lund there is a bit of a gap. Meanwhile, at the top, Lund is only 0.2 behind Strakusek of Slovenia. So close. Here we go, the battle for the bronze medal. Strakusek with a 9.2, Govenda with a 10.2. And a 9.6 for Lund, and Poland have another medal. And what an effort from Maja Govenda, 18 years old and a bronze medalist at the European Championships, adding to that gold that she took in Tallinn last year, 2023. And just inserting the safety flag with the help of Viva Bersek, one of the jury. So now the battle for the gold medal. There's only a 0.2 difference. It could go either way. Will it go to a shoot-off? Will it be a clear win? Lund is back in front, led in the early part of this final, and now back at the top of the scoreboard. Strakusek is only 17 years old. Lund at 23 years old, so there's even a 4-year gap between them. And Strakusek's had a fantastic 3P final. 10.6 from Lund. So Strakusek needs a 10.9 in order to take the gold. And it's a 10.3, it's a terrific shot, considering it's the final shot in the standing position, but it means that Caroline Finessa Lund of Norway, 23 years old, is the gold medalist, and now the smiles can start. Final total of 457.0, and Caroline Lund of Norway takes the gold medal. And what a performance from Hanna Strakusek, and quite rightly so, the Slovenian supporters going absolutely crazy. She absolutely deserves that. 17 years old and now has her first European Championship medal. And now we'll get the official announcements of the medalists.
One big round of applause for our medalists. Bronze medal representing Poland, Maja Magdalena Gawenda.
So Maja Magdalena Gawenda, 18 years old from Poland, is the bronze medalist.
Silver medalist representing Slovenia,
And Hanna Strakusek, 17 years old, with her first European Championship medal, and it's silver.
European champion in 3 positions, women junior,
And it's gold for Norway. Caroline Finesta Lund, 23 years old, much to the delight of the Norwegian team, is the gold medalist here at the European Shooting Championships.
The match was a treat to watch. Please stay in the final
So that's how it finished. Poland with the bronze, Slovenia with the silver, and Norway with the gold. Well, that concludes our coverage for today. We have one final for you tomorrow. It's a medal match, 12:15 local time in the afternoon. The 50-metre rifle 3-position duet junior will be live for you just shortly after 12 noon, and the final is due to start at 12:15. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on all of our coverage. It's been wonderful to have you along for the ride. Do like the channel, do subscribe as well. That way you'll get notified of all of our future broadcasts. But from me, Rory McAllister, and our team, see you tomorrow.